Yeah.
So like you literally were only there. Yeah.
We had him for 2 full days. Well, he was threatening to bonk.
Yeah, you can't. That's dangerous.
All right. Hey, everybody. My clock actually says officially 7 p.m., so we will go ahead and begin our city council meeting this evening. We appreciate everyone being here. If you're here to speak at our public hearings or our open comment period, there's forms out on the podium. If you'd fill those out and bring them up to our city reporter, we'll make sure we get those into the minutes. We'd like to excuse Councilmember Peterson tonight. She had our opening ceremony, but Councilmember Thompson has agreed to take care of that for us.
So, before we do anything, I'd like to invite up our Youth Commissioner Jane up here and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please.
Please stand. Repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So, my words tonight will be quite short. There's an African proverb that says that there is unity in strength and division in weakness is weakness. In these times, oftentimes, society has been thriving on the ideas of that there's strength in division. I want to lead and say that regardless of the ups and downs and the positions people take, to find a unifying line brings a beauty. It's really what America's built on. I'll also say that tonight, as a Clearfield City Council, that I want to, of course, pray for everybody who works for our city. Thank you so much for your dedication and your work. Watch over those who are not in our care. And let's begin this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Council Member. We don't have any minutes to approve tonight. I mean, I signed enough this last week that I have carpal tunnel syndrome, but it's nice to be up to date, and we don't have anything to sign off on tonight. So we'll move into our public hearings. The first item on our agenda is a public hearing to receive public comment on amendments to the fiscal 2025 budget. We will ask Rich Knapp to come up and give us some information.
Oh, that's pretty.
But why is it doing that?
Good screensaver. Yeah, a couple times.
Hold on, I wanted to duplicate screens here. Oh, go.
Not anymore.
Okay. Mayor and Council, this is our second amendment of the FY25 budget and our last amendments. These are items that exceed budget authority, so it is proposed that we amend the budget with these items. The $27,000 here in Parrott, it comes from Parrott's balance. This is skate park was a little over budget, pavilion's under, and this would make it so we're under budget. The contracted plan reviews and inspections was just because of increased demand for that service related to growth. This bank fees, this $11,000 is a little misleading. It's not that fun of a story, but our bank account, when interest rates are high, it's better to do an overnight sweep, but then we have to pay all our bank fees. So the net is actually positive on that $11,000. When interest rates are low, we go to another format where they just waive all our fees, but we don't get the interest. So it just depends on rates. But these other ones, the $7,500, $11,000, the $17,000, these are all increased costs to our credit card fees, use, and increased costs per transaction. And like we said in the work session a couple weeks ago, we are going to look into some options, try to see how we can get those fees down if possible. And then lastly, the Clearfield Station, that's just showing the project budget from the original budget 1.2 million higher than anticipated. But the net planned revenues versus planned expense will be 307 short. But as we talked about in the work session, we can use interest earned on the bond monies for this project to make up that shortfall. Are there any questions on this? Okay.
Okay, we'll go ahead and open the public hearing. Is there anyone here to speak in regards to the budget amendments?
Your Honor, seeing no public comment, I move to close the public hearing.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Takes us to our next public hearing, which is to receive public comment regarding the amendments of the utility fees for sewer in the city's consolidated schedule. Welcome back, Rich.
Thank you. So North Davis Sewer District back in April updated their user charges, increasing the monthly sewer charge that we levy on their behalf by $2.50 per month. This will take effect July 1st, so in next week. So we're going from $21.50 to $24. And the commercial side, same increase on the base, but also a 25-cent increase on their per 1,000 gallon use. Then 2 years later, in July of 27, it increases by those same amounts again to $26.50 for the base. And our utility bill, this is separated out, so the resident will see this charge separate from our sewer charge. Are there any questions on this?
No, but to clarify, this is the pass-through from the sewer district, not our fee.
Correct. Yes, and that's why we separated on the bill, just so we can make that clear.
Okay, thank you. We'll go ahead and open the public hearing. Is there anyone here to speak in regards to the sewer fees?
Your Honor, seeing no public comment, I move to close the public hearing.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Brings us to our open comment period. I don't have any forms from anyone to speak during our open comment period, but certainly don't want to deny you that opportunity if anyone was here to speak. Okay, well, then we'll move on. And item number 4 is to consider approval of and consent to my proposed appointment of Jane Budd, our youth city council member, to the Planning Commission. We've had the opportunity to interview Jane this evening, and felt in our interview that she checked all the boxes and is definitely the person we need there serving from the Youth Commission on our Planning Commission. And so, Council, I would entertain a motion to approve that.
Your Honor, before I move to approve and consent to your appointment of Jane to our Planning Commission, I just want to share what I shared with you all in the work session, in that I commend Jane as she's joined our Youth Commission and taken a really expanded role in moving the organization forward and participating very heavily in getting other kids involved. I think she has a really bright future ahead of her, and it really warms my heart to see her take a greater interest to learn more about the city and the community that she lives in, but also work to develop her own skills and understanding. So she is phenomenal. And with that being said, I move to approve and consent to your appointment of Jane Budd as the Youth Commission member to the Planning Commission, and authorize your signature to any necessary documents.
Second.
I will give it to Tim.
We have a motion in a couple of seconds. We'll give it to Tim. Any further discussion? No. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Should we take care of that right now, Nancy, or is Yes. Yeah. We can do that. We will we'll swear you in shortly. Item number 5 is to consider approval of Resolution 2025 R-08, authorizing and adopting amendments to the fiscal year 2025 budget and appropriating funds for the purposes set forth therein. This is the information that Rich just gave to us. Council, are there any further questions or discussions for Rich? Seeing none, I entertain a motion.
Your Honor, I'll move to approve Resolution 2025 R-08, authorizing and adopting amendments to the FY25 budget and appropriating funds for the purposes set forth therein, and authorize your signature to any necessary documents.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Councilmember Roper?
Aye.
Councilmember Worth?
Aye.
Councilmember Ashford?
Aye.
Councilmember Thompson?
Aye.
That is unanimous. And item 6 is to consider approval of ordinance 2025-16, amending the utility fees for the sewer, or for sewer in the city's consolidated fee schedule. Again, this is just passing through their fees, but it has to be in our consolidated schedule. So if there's no concerns, I'd entertain a motion.
Your Honor, I move to approve ordinance 2025-16, amending the utility fees for sewer in the city's consolidated fee schedule, and authorize your signature to any necessary documents.
And I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Councilmember Thompson?
Aye.
Councilmember Rashford?
Aye.
Councilmember Worth?
Aye.
Councilmember Roper?
Aye.
That is unanimous. That brings us to our communication items. Lot going on, a lot of good things. I'm headed out tomorrow, not on behalf of, I'm headed out for the league, but the realtors have asked for someone to come out and speak on housing out in Uinta Basin, out in Vernal. Nice. And so I had a nice conversation with them this afternoon about the challenges they're facing, and interesting to see them face the exact same challenges, but in a whole different level. Their average income out there is $40,000 or $42,000 a year. Their rents, might find something at $800, but their average rents are about $12. And then their house prices, the average entry level home is about $350,000 to $400,000. You have somebody making $42,000, they're struggling. They also just got approval for the railroad to be done with the federal government, so they anticipate about 9,000 people coming in to live in, to now be employed there. And they're a little, freaking out a little bit on what to do about housing. But, interesting to see them, face the same challenges, just at different levels and different ways. And so we'll go out and share some stuff from the National League of Cities with them tomorrow, and have some fun out there. I could go into a whole lot of things, but I'm just going to say this week we had our change of command up at Monday for the ops group for the 388th, and I wanted to commend the commander there, because he started off and could have done a lot of things, but asked for a moment of silence. Not for anyone that had died, but for our men and women, specifically from the 388th, that have been in harm's way. They were let's just say they were over in that area before anything else happened, and they were there for that reason. So they were there as escorts, and so appreciate him recognizing, and would ask that everybody else too. They're still there. There's still a lot going on in the world, and we've got men and women all over the world, and both fighter squadrons are out right now, and as soon as the one gets back, the other one will go. So fun times. But Councilmember Thompson.
Only thing I have is that, I'm not sure if I reported this before, but at the North Davis Sewer District, we just approved the bid to pretty much redo the electrical infrastructure for the sewer district, and to put us in the future to make sure that we're hedged the way we need to be able to continue the services as we need as a sewer district. We also are just doing our work in the world of biosolids. Biosolids is a very interesting and complex thing that I didn't think I'd find so much interest in, but we're just continuing to do that work in the biosolids world, and just making sure that we're ahead of the times to be able to dispose the waste of our district. Outside of that, I have nothing else to report.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Rashford.
The Citizen Police Academy starts August 8th. I would highly recommend that if you have the ability, from Wednesday from 6 to 9 for, I want to say it's maybe 16 weeks. I would highly recommend that you take it. I'd highly recommend that you definitely take it, Jane. It's really, really good. The also point that I want to make too is that there's a need for this special training for active attack. I believe it's next Tuesday and the Tuesday after. If anyone is willing to sign up to be either a victim or help out with the training scenarios for the police officers and SWAT, we'd greatly appreciate it. I know they need help, and there's not a lot of them. So please come out, and I can send you a form. I'll actually put it on my Facebook too. So that's all I had.
Okay. Councilmember Ward.
First and foremost, I just want to offer my sincere condolences to the family and loved ones of Afa Alu, who was killed in the No Kings protest a few days ago. That's one thing that's both been incredibly heartbreaking, as it's impacted somebody in our community. no one should lose their life in a peaceful demonstration, especially as an innocent bystander. But it's also been heartwarming to see how the community has rallied in support of that family as they go through these tough times. So I just wanted to share that with everybody. And on a more encouraging note, I want to share that the Youth Commission was awarded a $1,000 grant from the North Davis Communities That Care Coalition to put on a mental health petting zoo. And I've gotten with Sergeant Vance to see if we could do that in tandem with the Night Out Against Crime this year. And it sounds like that is full steam ahead, so we're excited to see how they take that and run with it. It's to focus on protective factors, and they suggested that they'd like to focus on mental health. And I found that to be just phenomenal that they took the initiative to go after that. So yeah, that's all I have today.
That's awesome. Thank you. Councilmember Roper.
Just a couple things. The North Davis Fire District approved its budget this last week, and so they'll be up and running. It worked out nicely, and also for those that are looking for opportunities to volunteer, Open Doors is always in need of allies, and we need people to come help support those families who are in need and are trying to improve their lives. So if you know of anybody looking for service time, then come have them talk to me.
Thank you. Before I give JJ the mic there, I called him earlier today to thank him and just commend him really. But this goes to our staff as a whole, because it came as a surprise to a couple of cities today. Legislature this last session passed a SB 295, I believe, that required cities, if they were going to go through truth in taxation, to notify the State Tax Commission prior to June 1st. Let's just say a number of cities missed that. And were notified today that their requests, their proposals were rejected. So they cannot have a truth in taxation. They have to go back and accept the county's rate, which if you've already figured your budget out and you put things in place planning on X to happen and now it can't because they didn't follow the legislation that was going through. So my hat's off to our staff for during a legislative session continuously following what is going on, for actively participating in the league legislative policy committee and knowing what's happening in the legislature and keeping those things in tow. Because there's a few that didn't understand that, and they're finding out today and tomorrow and this week that they have missed their deadlines. And so, JJ, we'll turn that over to you. So,
and those kudos really go to Rich and Lee for being on top of that kind of stuff. Just a couple of notes. No later than lunchtime tomorrow, I'll be pressing submit on our Safe Streets for All application, where we're asking for $21 million for pedestrian bridges. So cross your fingers and
light a candle, say a prayer.
Whatever you need.
It's a lot of money to ask for from the Fed. So.
It's a lot of money. We'll see what happens. And then this is not on the agenda for any discussion, but we will be sending an email. And if you have concerns, please let us know. This is regarding getting water to the landscaping at the I-15 interchange landscaping. So just a little teaser. Might be coming, probably not tonight, but tomorrow, right, Eric? Yeah, we'd get information to you so you understand what that situation is and the urgency of it. So I'll just leave you with that teaser. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you.
One more. Happy birthday, JJ.
Oh, and happy birthday to our city manager, J.J. Allen, who's 60 today. Nancy, other staff reports.
Just our schedule. So you're pretty busy next week. We don't have meetings scheduled. We do have a policy and work session scheduled for the following Tuesday, July 8th. The 15th, we're still kind of building that one, and then we have things scheduled for the following policy and work session. Ballot should go out for the city council race about July 21st.
Okay. Should note, if you didn't notice, we have another concert.
We do.
Really kind of cool. I mean, I will give it that. We because they came to us. This is Dallin Weeks, who is Chief Weeks from the North Davis Fire District, or Battalion Chief Weeks. It's his son, who graduated from Clearfield High. He has wanted forever to perform at the Clearfield Amphitheater. We told him he could perform elsewhere, and nope. This was his dream. Always has been, to perform at the Clearfield Amphitheater. If you don't know Dallin Weeks, he was one of the original members of Panic at the Disco. Has since started his another band. I don't know how, but they found me.
Yes, yes.
And actually, yeah, if you look them up on YouTube, and you'll see their hits or the number of downloads.
Yeah, they average up 1.5 million monthly streams on Spotify.
Yeah.
They have some reach. It's a pretty large band doing a free show in Clearfield, where the singer's from. Like, talk about a storybook moment that we have coming to us.
And we did inform him that, it's at Bicentennial Park, but that amphitheater on a good day holds 300. If you get really cozy with your neighbor, you might get 350. This could be a really cozy concert as we get word out. But pretty cool, as Dakota said, to have him from here and want to come back. They are on their way elsewhere. They're doing a tour across the country and are stopping here for just that purpose. And while they're here, they're going to...
Yeah, when I first learned about it, I just have to say, I was on Punk'd. I was like,
yeah.
Did you just say those words? Like, that's too big of a band to be doing a free show at a small amphitheater. So if I don't see everybody in this room there, I'm sorry, you're missing out.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I sent my daughter a text while we were in the meeting talking about it, and I said, did you ever listen to Panic at the Disco? And she says, I still do. Oh, well, have you heard of the... And she went nuts. So, yeah, it'll be a big deal for a...
It's a 90s era.
Yes, it is. Well, it was. Now it's a 20s era.
Yeah.
So, any other staff reports? Okay, then I would move that. Oh, here comes Chief. Excuse me. Oh. Yes. That was my next one.
Sorry, Mayor and Council. I just wanted to report back to you about our Cops and Cars event we had. If you remember, we met in February and appropriated some unclaimed property, specifically money from the evidence room, and used that towards that event. And it was our most successful Cops and Cars that we've had since we've done this. I was not able to attend. I was out of
It was
town.
amazing.
But I heard it was amazing and a big turnout. So we were able to raise several thousands of dollars for Officer Jared Jensen. And if you didn't hear, he passed away 2 days after that. So we were honored to present that to his family and hope that helps them. But we wanted to report back to you that we appreciate your support in that, and those funds were used to really booster that event, and it really paid off. So just wanted to give you an update on that, and thanks for your support on it.
Thank you, Chief. It really was a great event.
It really was, and myself and Jenna, as the Youth Commission advisor and one of our Youth Commission members, were running or helping to run the registration line, and it was overwhelming at times, the amount of support that was coming through, just flocks of cars.
Fantastic. And Chandra?
Oh.
Since I blew your bubble, popped your bubble on the other one, go ahead and tell us everything else that we...
Well, this week we have Search the City going on, and you can hunt as well. So hope anyone who wants to play goes out and do that. And then on Monday we have Paint the Bridge. So if any of you are interested in getting involved in some way, we have spots. So let me know, and we'll put you where you want to be. And then just wanted to let you know, some of you heard, some of you didn't, but our muralist for the Napa Auto Parts building, owned by Tom Patterson, LLC, the muralist is going to start tomorrow.
Nice.
So it will be almost all the way done by when the parade starts on the 4th. So they'll get to see something really cool. And that's all I have.
Very cool. And I did talk to our parade coordinator this evening before I came over, and she was busy today. She had a number of other people call her. She had a volunteer, several really nice cars actually offer to, and we're honored to drive our Grand Marshal. And so, very, very cool. So she's happy. She'll be glad when it's over. And, Councilmember Peterson, will be out for a while. I should mention that. She did break her leg, so she'll be out for a little while. We do have our last item on this agenda is to swear in our new planning commissioner. Jane?
face out. Take this and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Jane Budd,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Utah.
and the Constitution of the State of Utah,
And I will discharge my duties with fidelity. So two, so you can have one.
Congratulations, Mom and Dad, you raised a good one. We're excited to have her. Are we going back into that room, or do we just want to do it here? Just do it here. Okay, and the last, that was the last item on our agenda. We need to adjourn as a city council and reconvene in a work session for the CDRE.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We'll just hold that here if you guys are good with it. We can just do that right here. I don't see any reason to go back into the other room for a relatively short agenda. But I'm not the chair, so I don't have anything to say. Nice work here.
I'm fine doing it here.